Hi there. Welcome to Being Your Way. And for this episode, let's talk about anxiety for a moment and how it feels, how to combat it. I don't know if I do a great job at it, but I'm still trying. And I know someone out there is feeling the same way. So just want to validate your feelings and find some way out together. So yeah, here it goes. I was just looking at a video about how to grow on YouTube because I've started this podcast recently. None of my friends know about it, by the way, except for one. And that too because I wanted to know if the audio was working on their end and if everything is in place. And that's it. So, yeah, it is literally like starting from zero and trying to understand how this thing works, how should I go about it, and all of those things. And I just got so much anxiety out of that whole process and the amount of work that goes behind creating something from scratch by yourself. And if I'll be able to do it, if my channel will even reach the people that I want to. Like, my goal with this is not views and brand deals and things like that. For me, it is to build genuine connections. And even if it is like 20 people, I would love to have like those set of people that I can talk to and who feel closely. Like, there's a nice close knit group of friends that just find solace in these little episodes. And yeah, a couple of people who can come together, discuss their issues, or find some accountability and just create stuff together, or just have really beautiful conversations about life, about growth. And yeah, the goal is literally just wholesome stuff that helps people grow in their lives. But even for that, I don't want the things that I do to be buried somewhere and no one knows about it. And I'm just going on and on and on. And I have no idea when it is going to reach the right set of people. And it does eat me up at times. Because as much as I'm doing this to express what I have within myself, I'm also doing it to be able to connect with like-minded people and to grow together and have that feeling of community and building communities and getting a hang of it. Because I know anything that I do with my life is going to be surrounded around pushing people to believe in themselves and live up to their potential or something related to that. So I really, really want to do that, try my best to get there. And the one fear that keeps coming to me is when my college ends and I need to find a job or something to sustain myself. I don't want to be doing it in a place that I hate with people that I don't align with, in a role that suffocates me because I know how that feels like. I have gotten a taste of it, like not exactly corporate India for that matter, but yeah, I have a fair idea of what I want from life and what I don't want from life. And I think anyone who gets into content creation is majorly because they are not happy with the options that have been given to them, or just someone who wants to be themselves and have freedom in their life. So, all of us are trying to find that freedom and live for that. And anything that threatens our freedom, that threatens our personal values, that threatens what we wish from life and from ourselves, causes major anxiety. And as someone who constantly feels like a misfit and cannot abide by instructions and the things, like most of the things that are being told and that we need to follow just don't make sense to me, that really brings you in a position of not just feeling lonely, but also in a constant state of uncertainty and anxiety of not knowing how things will pan out and how to calm your nerves down when you literally have no results in front of your eyes or some blueprint to follow. So, yeah, while all of this was happening and I was watching these videos, and then, of course, there was a talk regarding short form content and shorts and Instagram reels. And for a moment, I thought that, okay, my main goal is to be able to find the right set of people. So, should I start on Instagram? And the one thing I've always been debating, and somehow I could not convince myself to do that because I wanted to have a deeper connection with my audience, and I feel Shorts does not do that. Maybe in the future, I will be able to look at it more openly. Right now might not be the right time for me, and I just like never say never. I might get there. But yeah, all sorts of questions started coming up, and I just felt like, am I just going nowhere and building up hopes for myself that might never be fulfilled? And yeah, when I had that rush of anxiety, I just switched everything off, got off my phone, and firstly decided to get it off. I was gonna meditate, but I thought I'll just record this for now because that will help me to get it off my chest and like my mind and my system, whatever you call it. So yeah, now that that is done and I feel a lot more lighter, I know I'll be able to get into my meditation easier and it will be fine. But yeah, when it comes to anxiety, I have noticed that it always occurs when I am trying to fit myself into a character that I'm not. And I constantly need to tell my brain that the qualities that have been regarded as successful in the common world are not what match with my qualities and not something that I look up to. So my path will be different, my thoughts will be different, my way of conducting things will be different, and somehow teaching myself that it's normal, it's okay that I think differently, I feel differently, I choose differently, and to be able to own that, it's like a constant muscle that you need to build. And that gets especially tricky when you have so much noise going on all around you. So yeah, all I can think of about overcoming anxiety are these few pointers that first of all just stop the noise wherever it is coming from, that source that it's coming from. For me, that source was the YouTube videos that I was consuming at my computer, so I just switched that off. Find a way to get that feeling out of your system. So right now I'm doing it by ranting it to you, but for you it could be dancing it out, painting it out, singing it out, talking to someone, writing it out. It could be anything. And yeah, then the next thing I would, once I've got it out of my system and I'm able to see it from a distance, I can recognize what the problem actually was and remind myself of who I am, why I am different, and why it is normal to be different and not feel like you relate to what has been said to you or how things are always done. And then hopefully by this point, you are in a lot more stable and still place. I would still recommend focusing on your breath and coming back to it. I kind of like things escalated way too far for me and I forgot to focus on my breath. But that's also one thing that I know would have brought me back to my stability in a shorter span of time. So I will do that now. Like, that's completely fine. But just as a suggestion, I had like this 3 to 4 points in my mind that I wanted to share. And every time you go through an episode like this, and I'm sure there would be things that bring you anxiety in your life, just remind yourself of these few pointers and yeah, it might just help you feel better. And that's the hope with everything I shared over here. So yeah, that's it for today. I think it was a shorter podcast episode. But yeah, that's all I've got. If you've come this far, thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next one.